Heroes at Home. We're sharing stories of area residents who are doing great things, from firefighters to fundraisers, veterans to volunteers. Heroes at Home is brought to you by the comfort people at Terrell Moseley, specializing in heating, cooling, and maintaining the air quality of your home or business. Online at terrellmoseley.com. Hear more from our Heroes at Home by visiting WLNI.com.
We welcome to the studio for our Heroes at Home segment, Toby Williamson. Do you prefer Tobias or Toby?
You know, I've decided to go with my business name is Tobias, but we're in a comfortable setting, so we'll go with Toby.
We are. And you're one of the organizers of Odyssey Fest,
Correct,
which is coming up at, how do you pronounce it?
Sedalia Center.
Sedalia Center. He said until recently he had said Sedalia. And so it is Sedalia. Yes. And that got us curious about the origin of the name Sedalia, and the best one that we have found is that they believe it's linked to Sedalia, which in Hebrew is God's voice or God has spoken. But this is the Sedalia Center in Big Island, and a big festival coming up on June 14th.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing this Odyssey Fest?
So I started Odyssey Fest back in 2019, and essentially it was a response to feeling like I hadn't done enough. I had lost a friend, Ben James, in 2018 to suicide. And while at that time I was a resource specialist for the Virginia Veteran and Family Support Program, I felt that I had not done him justice by getting him into all the programs that I had known of. So I wanted to go ahead and use any type of a platform that I could to promote the programs that I did know of that worked. And I had a musician friend reach out to me, and he mentioned maybe doing a benefit concert, and I said, yeah, dude, let's just run with it. And within 6 weeks, we organized and planned the Odyssey Fest in 2019. We held it at 5th and Federal. It was a pretty successful event, and we had ambition of doing more. And then 2020, the COVID happened, and it kind of derailed our efforts there.
Like so many efforts.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
So here we are, though, and COVID is in the rear view mirror, and Odyssey Fest is at the Sedalia Center. It is a music festival with a mission. Oh, and your headline is "Rocking Out to Save Lives." So this is a festival with a mission, and that is, it sounds like, dealing with mental health and raising awareness about suicide and veterans, that kind of thing?
Absolutely, and specifically programs in our area, in our community, that are doing the work to help improve lives. I feel that there are too many programs that exist without their own voice, without being seen, and just kind of in the background doing the work. My goal is to really put a spotlight on our community organizations that work, not just so that people are aware of them, but to raise support for them as well, because these programs, unfortunately, we live in a world where things are not free. And so our goal is also to raise funds for these organizations that are doing the work.
All right, so first of all, we'll get the details of Odyssey Fest itself, who's playing, that kind of thing, and then we'll hear about some of these organizations. So
yeah, absolutely.
Who are some of the acts for Odyssey Fest?
So we've got 6 acts. We have 3 full bands on our main stage, and then we have a second stage with 3 solo acts. We'll be kicking it off with Andrew Washington, who's a great country, southern rock, mostly cover artist, but he has his own stuff as well. He was a big part of our first Odyssey Fest. In fact, the musician that reached out to me was Andrew Washington. So we are happy to have him back this year. Following him up on our main stage will be Carly Rae, the Carly Rae Band. They're a local favorite band, and we're really looking forward to having them and featuring them on our stage. Back to the second stage for our solo artists, we have a combat Marine veteran, Jimmy Randall, coming up from South Carolina. Jimmy's a Marine that served with another one of our organizers, Joshua Hunt, who will also be playing on the single stage. So we're looking forward to having them, 2 Marines, both with intimate knowledge of what it's like to serve, are putting forward their efforts and their talents to raise awareness as well. And so we're really excited to have them. Back to the main stage, we'll have Will Woodford in Double Shot, a dynamic 3-piece that really puts out big sound. And then we also have Old Town Connector wrapping us up on the main stage.
It's all happening June 14th. Starts at 11:30 and goes all the way until 10:30 at night. Is
Gates
it
open at
all
11:30. We plan on opening up music at 12, and as long as they'll allow us to, we'll play.
Tell us about that venue, the Sedalia Center.
So Sedalia Center. I first went out there for a chili cook-off some years ago, and got very familiar with some of the area's best chili. It might have been one of the first times I had white chicken chili, and it's become one of my favorites. So when I was out there at the Sedalia Center, just the beauty of that area. You're right in a valley, and you have the mountains off to both sides, and it's just the landscape there alone is breathtaking. And it's just one of those places that puts you kind of at peace with nature, and it just makes you feel good inside. So it was kind of a no-brainer when I was out there. I said to myself, one day I would love to have Odyssey Fest out here. And we were very fortunate when we reached out this year that they did have a date available, and we went ahead and booked it up.
We're speaking with Tobias Williamson, one of the organizers of Odyssey Fest, June 14th, and then talk about some of the organizations that this festival will benefit.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. So firstly, I want to shout out Lynchburg Area Veterans Council. Not only are we supporting them, they have always been a supporter of Odyssey Fest from the very beginning. They helped with some administrative things, and they continue to help with some administrative things. But aside from helping out Odyssey Fest, what they do for the veterans community here in Lynchburg, it's really hard to nail it down to just one thing, because they are a central hub of all veteran activity. Every month they have a meeting, and they invite any community organization that exists for any reason that helps veterans and first responders. And they give them a place where they can come and meet and exchange information with other programs that are doing the work and collaborate. They also have the Desmond T. Doss Home, where they house veterans struggling with homelessness, and they help get them back on their feet. So for me, it was an obvious choice to support Lynchburg Area Veterans Council. I've also had the privilege to work with and participate with Index Archery. They're a program dedicated to introducing veterans and first responders to the art of archery. And they supply veterans with their bow, with arrows, with a target, but more importantly, with a sense of meaning of what archery means, what it does, and how it takes all of what's going on in your mind and it focuses it down to one small objective, and that's sending an arrow to the target. And there's so much that happens in that back draw of that bow. Any tiny little thing can affect where that arrow impacts. So the focus has to really be tuned into that one thing. So it really helps, free that mind up.
We've spoken with Jason before about that program and his story, and that's great. Yeah. So as we speak with Tobias Williamson, and this is very personal for you, not only with the friend, but just in your own journey. Is that right? Absolutely.
It's one of the things that really kind of hit me like a ton of bricks and almost derailed my entire effort. After I finished up working with the state as a resource specialist, one of the things that I noticed is that while I was trying to help other veterans, what I had to do was really expose some of my own traumas so that I could, on that level, relate with that veteran and know where they were. And what I realized is that I, too, had a lot of things that I still needed to work on. So that's really what brought me to these programs, was a curiosity for my own self of what they could do for me and how they could help me learn to navigate this world after war. Specifically, the psychological effects of it. There's so much that happens in our mental space that we're not prepared for. We're trained for a lot of things in the military, specifically with the physical parts of being in war. But what we're not trained is how to deal with those things when we come home. So it's one of those things where you have to really self-advocate, and that's what I learned. because nobody was coming to me and saying, hey, this is what we have. Hey, come check this out. So I really had to seek it out myself. So one of the things that I really like to impress upon other veterans is we're not in the military anymore. You have to advocate for yourself. Nobody else is going to do it. And if you're not self-advocating, well, we're kind of lost.
Toby Williamson, Odyssey Fest is coming up June 14th at the Sedalia Center, rocking out to save lives. And it's going to be all day, 11:30 to 10:30. And the website for more information is odysseyfest.org. And I guess there's ticket information there, and you'll have all the food trucks and everything that comes along with the festival.
Absolutely. We're having a couple food trucks. We're having Hado's Cuisine. They're a Lebanese food truck, so I'm really looking forward to that. They're also veteran-owned, so something to mix it up a little bit. And we also have the Hot Dog Girl, so glizzies of all type will be available. Really excited about that. We also have another Marine who's coming out to help support our efforts. The foam guy will be coming out with a foam cannon for a couple hours, something for the kids to enjoy because this is a family-friendly event. And as a young father myself, it has become very apparent to me how important it is to include that family in these events. Not only is it really important to have that family bonding, but also I don't want a veteran or family to not come out because there aren't things for their kids.
That's great. It's so it's $25 for a ticket.
Absolutely.
For a day of music, whole day.
Whole day
and
music.
Then and kids 12 and under are free.
Kids 12 and under free.
So,
we also have an option, if you would like, to donate for a hero. Okay. We would like for veterans and first responders to come free.
Okay.
That's our goal. And even if we don't have all the tickets paid for, we're going to do our best to get them in.
Toby Williamson, thanks so much for what you're doing. And sounds like it's going to be a great event, Odyssey Fest, June 14th at the Sedalia Center to benefit local veteran nonprofits and programs. And we'll thank you again, talk to you again very soon.
I really appreciate it.
And thanks to the comfort people at Terrell E. Moseley for sponsoring our Heroes at Home segment. We'll be right back.